Toyota. Big fan of their vehicles. I've had many of them. Generally had great wear out of them. They're good. I wish I could say the same about the dealerships and their attitude to warranty claims. This is an interesting story that I hope, will go to the very top of Toyota. It's taken me 7 months to film, and I think it's a superb example of a couldn't really care that much attitude of Toyota.
My name is Andrew St Pierre White. Join me as I build four-wheel trucks and travel to the remotest parts of the world. I'm a prisoner of this hill. 9,000 kilometers, this vehicle. I had used it almost exclusively on road, 4 days drive, canning stock route, 1,600 kilometers of gravel and off-road track, back down to Perth, 9,600 kilometers, and took it in for a service. This was about 1.5 years ago. And they came back and said, your rear disc rotors are in bad shape. 9,500 kilometers, strange. Had a look at them. Yes, they were deeply scored. Pads, deeply scored. Just on the back. Front, pristine. Did Trans-Australia, decided in fact not to upgrade the rotors because the brakes still felt fine, but it was in the back of my mind that they needed replacing. I then made an application to Toyota and said, I don't accept this. This is a warranty issue. I don't know what it is, I can't point out the problem, but looking at it, this is unreasonable wear and tear. Wear and tear, yes, unreasonable wear and tear. I have owned Toyota Land Cruisers with discs at the back, and I know how fast they wear when used in this similar kind of environment. This was bad wear even for a vehicle with 200,000 kilometers on its odo, let alone 9,500. So I did the Trans-Australia trip, and I went all the way across, and then at multi-drive, where we were fitting and doing the conversion to the rear axle, I had a close look at the brake discs. And so did the people at multi-drive, and they said, this is horrific. By then the vehicle had about, if I remember, 16-ish thousand kilometers. It's a new car. And the back discs were so bad, they said there is no ways you can skim these. Not a chance. These are well down. You replace them or you upgrade them. The dealership were arrogant. Wear and tear. On further discussions with them, it's the red dust. And I quote, it's the red dust. Now hold on a minute. Just hold on a minute. You're saying that a Toyota Land Cruiser 70 Series is not built strong enough, well enough, and unsuited to Australian red dust? Is that what you're saying? That's what you just said to me. But I'm not a confrontational kind of guy, so I didn't kind of say to him, bull. You know, I didn't do that. I felt like doing that, but I didn't do that. And I thought, okay, and I mull over it and I think about it and I show people the pictures of the rotors and the discs, and unanimously they're saying nonsense. So I upgraded the brakes, front and back, changed everything, and it improved my brakes generally. Not that this vehicle has bad brakes. I probably wouldn't have done it. In fact, no, I would not have done it. I wouldn't have done it because I was quite happy with the brakes. Now I feel how good the brakes now are with the upgrade. Yeah, in retrospect, maybe I would have done it had I known. But at the time, it was I did it because the rear brakes were such a mess. So now I have a question for you, and anybody, please, if you want to respond, I'd be grateful. Have a look at the rotors and have a look at the pads. Absolutely identical even wear left and right on both back rotors and both sets of pads, whereas the front, pristine. Would you agree that if I had done a similar mileage with the terrain tramer rotors and pads as I did with the standard Toyota rotors and pads on similar conditions, and they don't show any sign of abnormal wear? Because remember, I'm talking about reasonable wear and tear, but I'm claiming unreasonable wear and tear. I have not looked. You're looking with me for the first time. These rotors have been from Melbourne up to Byron Bay and then crossing Australia, across the Simpson Desert, rough, very demanding, if not more demanding than the Canning stock route. You make up your own mind. You make up your own mind. I'm sorry. There is no ways that wasn't faulty components. You will never convince me otherwise. There isn't a blemish on it. Crossing the Simpson was far more difficult, far harder on the vehicle than Canning stock. Far harder. That was brutal. The dust, the red dust, the rocks in the road, there's no comparison. Not a blemish. This is an important issue, actually. The manufacturers actually take us for suckers. And I have been taken for a sucker.
At the time when I first saw the brakes after only 9,500 kilometers, I didn't really think too much about it. I just, and then when the dealer said it's just wear and tear, that was just a bit frustrating. And now, having seen a set of rear rotors that have a higher mileage and no damage, not even a blemish on them, I suddenly realized that I have been treated extremely unfairly. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has been treated this way, and simply saying, we can't be bothered to look into it further. This is the attitude that I see coming from Toyota and the dealerships. We can't be bothered just to live with it. When in fairness, you decide. I'd like to hear in the comments, what do you think? Have I been treated fairly? But more importantly, is the damage to the rear rotors and pads reasonable wear and tear? Consider the worst possible conditions you can think of. Is that reasonable wear and tear for those conditions? Looking forward to hearing your comments.
So if you want to follow my truck builds and my expeditions on a weekly, if not daily basis, follow me on Instagram. The link is below. And remember to click that subscribe button.